Hi there, students. Okay, I gave you this video the other day about questions about London, and clearly you had quite a lot of difficulty with them. So I'm going to give you the answers and explain a little bit about it, about the questions to you. Okay, the first one was about Sweeney Todd, and I'm sure you've all seen the film, yeah? But Sweeney Todd, okay, was a barber. He used to shave people, and apparently he used to murder them. Now, his barber shop was in 186 Fleet Street, yeah? And so some of the stories go. His accomplice used to put the dead bodies of the people he murdered into meat pies for people to eat, okay? The second question was about Pudding Lane. Now, Pudding Lane is where the Great Fire of London started. Okay, the Great Fire of London happened in 1666, and it burned a huge piece of London. For about 3 or 4 days solid, it burnt. And apparently, it started in Pudding Lane. Any British schoolboy would know that, yeah? This was a place full of bakeries. The next one's really a lot harder. What happened in Sydney Street? Well, okay, there was a siege, but let me explain a bit more first. Okay, there was a gang of politically motivated criminals who were trying to rob a jeweller's shop in the East End of London. And anyway, they killed, I think, 2 policemen, and one of their number was killed. And they were led by an activist called Peter the Painter, or Peter Piatka, okay? Anyway, after this, the police then were tipped off about where the thieves were held up. Another thing I need to point out, this happened in about, I think, 1910, 1911. So anyway, after this attempted robbery in a jeweller's, where they killed the police, they disappeared, but the police found them again in Sydney Street, yeah? And they were well dug into a house, okay? And they were well armed. And they had more weapons than the police. Anyway, eventually Winston Churchill, who was the Minister of the Interior, or the Home Secretary at the time, ordered them to bring up artillery to shoot, but they never ended up using the artillery because the building actually burned and all of the criminals were killed. Okay? Sydney Street. It's in the East End. Let's try some more then. What's the next one? Okay, yeah. What used to happen at Tyburn? Well, Tyburn used to be the place of public execution in London from the 16th century, or maybe earlier, up until about the end of the 18th century. Tyburn was the place where they used to hang or execute criminals. But notice, Tyburn is near Marble Arch, right in the centre of London. I think it's on the corner of the Edgware Road, something like that, okay? So, the next one, where is the Cutty Sark? Well, the Cutty Sark is in Greenwich, but the Cutty Sark is a big sailing ship. It's a tea clipper, yeah? It was built to sail to India. It was one of the last ones made to get tea and bring it back for the British to drink, the Great British Cuppa. Okay, Smithfield and Billingsgate. Well, Smithfield is a meat market that's been there probably since the 10th century. It's been there maybe 1,000 years or something like that. And Smithfield is still a meat market. It's a wholesale meat market. And then Billingsgate is the wholesale fish market. In the past, Billingsgate used to be the other side of London Bridge. But now it's in Canary Wharf. It moved there in the 1980s. Okay, where's the London Opera? The opera is in Covent Garden. Covent Garden is the opera. In London, Covent Garden is synonymous to the opera, okay? In Bow Street in Covent Garden, okay? Now, Craven Cottage. Okay, I'm sorry, this one's about football. Football's not my thing, but I needed to include one. Craven Cottage is the stadium of Fulham Football Club. I'm sure you've all heard of Chelsea. Well, Fulham's just next door, and Craven Cottage is where they play. Okay, what about this next one? Great Ormond Street. Yeah? Well, Great Ormond Street is famous for the Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. Okay? In the 1850s, for the first time, a hospital was opened for children, and this was the first children's hospital. It's also famous because the copyright of the story Peter Pan was given or was bequeathed to the Great Ormond Street Hospital, and they get quite a lot of money using that. Okay? The Oval. Okay, the Oval is the home of Surrey Cricket Club, but the Oval is where they play cricket. Yeah? They normally play the last international cricket match of the year at the Oval. Okay? So, the next one, Traitors Gate. Traitors Gate is quite easy. Traitors Gate is part of is in the Tower of London. But Traitors Gate, if you look at the Tower of London, part of it is next to the river. And the Traitors Gate is the gate that goes from the castle directly to the river. Okay? And then the last one. How do you cross the river at Blackwall? Using the tunnel. But notice, you can actually walk through this tunnel. These are these are road tunnels which cars go through. So I wouldn't recommend it, but it is still possible to walk under the Thames using a tunnel. Okay? So there you go. Oh, and the Blackwall Tunnel was opened in 1897, by the way. So there you go. The questions weren't easy, but it's all good London things that you really should know. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.